Truth bomb. I've been holding this in, but it is what it is, and I'm seeing this pendulum swing back in the community. I mean, I'm not hiding my face. I put a picture of myself up. I don't really care. I don't care. This is unscripted. I'm seeing the truth. People fight back against this stuff. I'm gonna just say this right now, and I'm gonna call out some people. I'm gonna tag some people in this matter of fact to call them out. We don't hate any LGBTQ members in anything. We hate that in video games, in anything. I mean, it gets deep. I was just ranting to myself, I talk to myself, for those who know me personally. But yeah, I was like, should I do it? I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but a certain somebody in my, I guess, I ain't gonna name no names quite yet. I'm gonna keep it on hush. I'm gonna keep it hush. But yeah, people I know are coming out and talking about this, and it's not that I know gay people, and that's not like I got a gay friend who I talked to one time, and that make me not racist or something. No. First off, I'm black. I'm gonna put a picture up. I'm gonna put a picture of me, like thumbs up or something, or an old picture of me clipped from some video. I don't know. But I'm black. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? I'm black. I'm from Michigan. I'm a Detroit guy. I'm black. So do with that information what you will, because that don't necessarily exempt me from racism. Well, it does, according to certain people on Twitter, depending on who you ask. But what I'm gonna focus on is this. And in this video, I'm just gonna focus on this. We don't hate anyone. I don't. And even people who hate people are like, no, I'm not saying that. I think niggers are stupid. I think the niggers are stupid. But I don't think they should. No one's saying we don't want LGBT people in games. No, what? Who? When does anyone say that? No, we're saying if you're gonna have LGBT people in the game, everybody should be allowed. We should damn near just walk on stage like we did it. Like, why did the audience walk on stage? They did it. Did what? They're celebrate your differences. I don't know. They did something. They did it. But they're saying no. I was just talking to myself, ranting about this. Essentially, imagine this. We walk on stage we did it. Everybody walk on stage yeah, the representation, yeah. And they lean down what is that? More than 5 inches? Go sit down. Who do you think you are? Go sit your ass down. What is that? More than a D cup breast? And you're a woman? Go sit down. What are you? A straight white guy? Go sit down. What? That's not representation. Yes, it is, because gay people matter more. I mean, gay people need it. Ooh, gay people need it more. They need it. What? You know what I'm saying? You get to decide this? You're white. And there was a Disney exec who got exposed on a date, you know what I'm saying, on a setup. People set him up, which was crazy to watch in real life, in real time, where he got set up and he was exposed that, yeah, there's code words, and they don't pick and choose who is to or not black enough, more or less, sorry. They pick and choose who is, not black enough or too black to fit an acting role, which answers a lot of questions, because Rachel Zegler got picked and stuff, and she's barely barely Hispanic or whatever she is. She's Puerto Rican, I believe. She's barely that. I haven't heard her speak any words that could kind of sound like Spanish. So I don't think that's super true. I mean, I think that's her actual ethnicity and stuff, but I don't think So yeah, that's one thing. And then there was something else I was talking about. Yeah, I'm not saying no one is. You know what I'm saying? No one's oh, there's this, we hate gay people. And this is coming from a black guy who lives in Michigan, who people swear, the LGBTQ, I don't even like saying the plus, because it's just, I know real people who are I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's just terms that the world is leaning towards for some reason. It hurts, because you're hurting other people in the name of what? Righteousness, in the name of what? Diversity, representation, but then you're hurting people. It's crazy. But the point is, I'm black, and in the main black culture, the black culture is hugely racist, hugely homophobic, transphobic, all that. A lot of cases where you hear trans people get beat up for lying about their gender, most of the time it comes from very radical, either black or white people. I'm gonna just keep it 100% honest. And this is gonna be a long video, 5 minutes. This is about to be like an hour, baby. Yeah, but yeah, though, like, it's just the truth. No one, hates. Like, no one does that. I'm sorry, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? And I can prove it. No one does that. We want everyone to have that. You know what I'm saying? Not certain people, not some people. None of that. We want especially me, because I get along with anybody who can relate to me. I promise. As long as we're not talking about, you're not black enough, then it's like, okay, now I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? If you do something, or we're talking about something that can upset me, like on a personal level, like you're talking about my meat size or something, yeah, I'm gonna get mad. But no, if it's like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, Power Rangers are ass. You're tripping. No, I'm about to argue with you. You're tripping. And I'll make a best friend arguing about Power Rangers on the spot, because it don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? And there's that big thing in the cultures and communities, especially black and white, where, what? You know what I'm saying? Its pendulum is swung, and now it's kind of like on the gay side of things, but not really. Like, they're like, oh, hate white people and make fun of white people and belittle and put down white people every chance you get because white people equal bad. I'm like, no, that's fucked up, because if they said that about black people, guess what? They said about black people, you'd be in an uproar. There'd be riots in the streets. Or maybe not, I don't know, because usually I got some opinions on that I won't. That's kind of another story, another video, really. Main point is, if it was you swap that role out for somebody else, this is not cool, and people are making YouTube essays. This is why the black community is, you know what I'm saying? So no, that's not fair. But slavery and racism, that doesn't have anything to do with this white trans guy right here. The guy ain't got nothing to do with this guy. This guy, he's just him. No matter what benefits he reaps or misses, opportunities he gets and miss, it doesn't immediately just make him evil, because they're not. If they work in a soup kitchen, are they still evil? Well, no, but they have to check themselves. No, you check yourself. Why do you get to decide this? Let some space deity touch down. Let them decide. Let God decide. Let Nirvana, Buddha, or any of the Egyptian, Indian, or African gods decide something like that. You don't get to cast judgment. I don't get to cast judgment. But all of a sudden, like, oh, well, we need the reparation. No, there is no we. I'm cool. I don't want handouts anyway. So, that's one thing. Then another big thing is, just belittle white people any chance they get, and they think that's like, oh, that's comedy. Just chill out. That's just a joke. How would that be a joke? All right, let's play this game. You stale, crusty Negro, and then it's like, okay, that's racist. You can't say that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's not right. You jive turkey, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if I flip it, it sounds terrible. So why do you get to do it to white people? You know what I'm saying? It's messed up. That's just wrong. Morally, objectively. Then people say, oh, that's how you feel. No. It's not a subjective opinion. That is fact. A wise man said, all facts are true, but not all truth is fact. And that is a fact, an objective fact with no emotions attached. No matter what you say, if you say Jewish, that meme of that girl's like, no offense or anything, but Asian people stink. And it's like, that's very offensive. You know what I'm saying? And they meme on her and just make her into like a Godzilla spitting flames with AI. Well, that's what it is now. But back in the day, it was like people would animate her turning into a monster. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this is such a radical thing to say. And just, you know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing. It's like, oh yeah, no offense or anything. White people, small dicks. Okay. No offense, but you niggers gotta wipe your meats off. You're dragging all around, wipe your hands, wash your hands. You know, you were eating here, you're dragging your monkey knuckles. You know what I'm saying? If I say that, and I know this video is gonna get demonetized, I'm praying on it. YouTube demonetize this video, because if you don't, I'm gonna blow up and everyone's gonna see this. So you better censor me, nigga. I promise. I'm not holding anything in. I want to be monetized, because I've been holding this in for way too long. But yeah, I just had to unsubscribe to this guy. I might try and get a dialogue started with him, because people are like, there's no point talking to these people. No, there is, because a lot of the times these people don't do this of their own volition. They're being lied to or policed into saying this. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, you know, where did the update launch for being bad? And, you know, I'm watching all this anti-woke DEI stuff, and it's like, this stuff is just cruel. It's like, what are you watching? Because most of it is about video games. So what's cruel about what they're saying? But he can't specify that, because if he do, he'll be proven wrong, and he's the leg up that people need. And I went to his comments, and all of his comments were liked, and they were all agreeing with him. And I don't think he bought his comments. I think there are people feeling this sentiment. And I'm not gonna say they're all retards, so stupid, and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's not true. That's not true. That's just genuinely not true. What is true is that where it was, what was I saying? Oh, where they're all, I'm not gonna say they're stupid or something. They're policed. You know, he's the leg in the right direction to really make it sound like this is just a cool message. But no, that's not true. And now it's time to get into the video game part about it. I won't go into the rant I went into on my own earlier. I'll just talk about the main plot points. And I'll have pictures for this. They're just making girls ugly in games. I'll say it with my chest. Like, what? They're just making girls ugly in games. And it has no relevance or correlation to anything at all. They're just making girls ugly in games for some reason. They're making them flat. Even, which is crazy, because I live in the real world. I'm watching girls, I'm like, God, oh my goodness, these girls are so gorgeous. And these will be the people walking around calling each other ugly and butterface, and nope, you're not good enough to get with me. And I'm looking like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like junk in a trunk. You know what I'm saying? And yet, in some way, somehow, they're trying to portray that, you know, Abby from the Last of Us 2, she's just, you know, that's realistic. No, it's not. If you're gonna make her a muscle mommy, that's an actual online term. If you're gonna make her this masculine dominatrix girl, first off, which is also not true, because Alicina Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8. She's big, tall, strong, villain, all that. And she's not ugly, she's not flat, she's actually quite curvaceous. You know what I'm saying? So that's not true. Even Capcom was based enough to do something like that, which is just straight up like, that's not true. You don't have to be flat, small, no legs, you know what I'm saying? But even, there is a girl on 20v1, on A20v1, where she's crippled, and she wants to be like another artist like Sexy Red. She's very X-rated, and she asks a guy if he ever had crippled, handicapped pussy before. You know what I'm saying? Just really X-rated. Okay. She was a nice looking girl, you know what I'm saying? She was all of the things that were, you know, oh, well, no, you gotta be ugly and you gotta have a vitiligo. I know girls with vitiligo. There was this girl on my Instagram, she scared me with her makeup because she had vitiligo. It was a lot more subtle, but she had vitiligo and she put on purple makeup. She gave me a heart attack. I thought she was like making cutesy faces while beat up, but no, she just had vitiligo and purple makeup on. Very pretty girl, very attractive girl. She had vitiligo, but it wasn't just patches of white on her skin. You know what I'm saying? It was just like crazy. So I'm seeing like, oh, niggas are just lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, this is crazy. So niggas are just making it up. Look at the Fortnite skin Opal. You know what I'm saying? What are they saying? Did that one even have vitiligo? They got so many like DEI skins in there. There's one who's like a Pride Parade Fortnite skin for free, which is kind of weird because like, not for the fact that it's a Pride Parade skin or Pride, like a LGBT Pride skin. It's that it's free. You think they would charge money for something like that, right? I mean, the Diamond Diva Fortnite skin, that costs money. You know what I'm saying? That costed money. So I don't know what that's about, but hey, I'm crazy and I'm racist, right? Yeah, so that's not true. You know, and the brand I went into earlier was she like, don't put that on me. I'm hot, I'm sexy, I'm all that. This chair ain't stopping nothing. And that's how real I know blind people, that ain't stopping nothing. You walk up and be like, oh, my poor child is blind and such a loser and wants to kill himself, but don't do it. Get off me. Not me. Who you talking about? Somebody else blind, baby. I get all the hoes because I'm blind. hey, like, what would you say? Like, no, that's not no good. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll get into that later. Because like I said, this isn't scripted, so I'll just have to hold off on things. Point is, these people who are oppressed or minorities, because I guess they count people with disabilities as minorities, even though that's not how that works. You know, I would just count them as percentages of people, like, you know, people, not objects. Even women, I don't consider women objects or percentage or numbers or anything like that. I consider them, you know, a population of the planet, but, you know, that's radical thinking. That's radical. Thinking people are humans and deserve rights and deserve to be treated as people. No. Only certain count. I'll get into that in a minute too. So like I said, these oppressed minorities, in quotation marks, aren't oppressed because they're gonna live their life. I've seen gamers play with their feet. They ain't got no arms, no problem playing with their feet. I've seen some play with Neuralinks. They're the first ever to try the Neuralinks. I'm seeing people with Neuralinks. I'm like, whoa. Playing Fortnite, cranking 90s. No arms, no legs, no problem. So don't put that on them because that's not true. And even Nintendo knew better when they got a wheelchair game coming out and it's not radical as fuck. It's just a game that you can roll with your arms. Wow, revolutionary. It's crazy how, and like somebody said, and if I do slip up and say his name, I'll just cut it out. I'll remember to cut it out. I'll add this in here to cut it out. Like someone said, that's why they're going to get away with making these games for the Switch 2 so high priced. They're going to get away with it. And I believe him. I believe him so much. I 100% believe him when he says, I think they're going to get away with it because they know not to be this radical. They don't make Mario lesbian, black, one-armed, none of that. You know what I'm saying? They don't do none of that. So they're going to get away with changing the voice actor for Mario and you know what I'm saying, making a Mario the game $500. They're going to get away with it because it's just going to be easy. Like you said, accessibility is one of the biggest sales for consoles ever. Yeah, you can get a PC and it could be cheap or expensive, just like a console, but consoles are more accessible. You can just plug it in, put a CD in. Well, you used to, because this shit nowadays is garbage. It's PC time, baby. It's PC Master Race up in here. But, point is, damn, it's only 19 minutes, oh my god! 19, so the point is that these oppressed people aren't oppressed because they don't want that on them. You know what I'm saying? And even when somebody is showing representation, it's not radical, and they're gonna get away with it being $100 flat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so you're lying. And I'm not saying all of you. I'm saying some of you, the loudest ones, are controlling and shepherding a mass of people unaware. Because that's not true. No one hates gay people. No one hates none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, moving on from that to what I was going to say. I forgot the other points I was going to make. So, I'll just keep rolling. But yeah, so all that going around the world to loop back into, they're making girls in games ugly. And it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, for what purpose? You know, say like, what, why? And some people say it's jealousy. Would I say it's jealousy? Maybe. I think so. I got a friend I could call. I think we could talk about it for a video too. Wait, do I think it's jealousy? I wouldn't say jealousy. I could say it's jealousy. Because One where I will say also that same guy, I'm mentioning him again, was an echo chamber. They don't want you to say, they don't want you to, I got a Twitter conversation. I might either just do that whole Twitter conversation on here, or I might just, I might be able to do both. I wonder if they deleted those messages. I haven't checked in a while. But yeah, they don't want you, echo chamber. They don't want you to disagree. That's really the main thing. One thing the other person said was, you are being deceitful and lying, because if there were an option and a choice, they wouldn't choose you. So you can't have them choosing. And yeah, I do believe that. I do believe that a little more than jealousy. But it is envy and jealousy in there somewhere too with that. I do believe so, yes. Especially when you hear about like Concord developers, Firewalk, that's the studio, developers who are calling me Dr. Professor. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, huh? You have a problem with that? Go home. You're fired. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just saying, like, we shouldn't code this. Oh, still you're fired. Because why are you telling me no? You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to say no. They want you to all go, yeah. It's the Siegel mine meme, but it's just different words. It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They just want you to say yes. And it's like, no, and no again. No means no. Not maybe, not if you increase my pay, not fine so you stop bothering me. No means no. And this is coming from the radical guy. You know what I'm saying? I believe in hard no. Say rape, all that, no. No means no. No means no. And I'll go into the rest of the no means no thing in another video. That might be the next video when I remember to do this. If this blows up and I get notifications on my YouTube, I don't want to sound like an average YouTuber, because I'm not. I'm him. But if this blows up and if I just get notifications to remind me that I even made this video, and I look back to this video, which is going to be kind of low effort. Sorry, viewer, if you're watching. It's going to be a little low effort. So sorry. Because I just want this out my system. And I'm just going to spit objective fact. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to spit facts. So it's not really about the visuals, but I will have some footage on screen. That I will have. I learned some tricks for B-roll and stuff. So I will have some stuff for you to look at. Speaking of that tidbit, about the whole they're making girls an ugly game thing, and then they don't support you being different. They only support them being different. They're only supporting difference as far as fat, black. Well, what are the obvious ones? Fat, black, gay, and not like all together, believe it or not. So, like, we have yet to see a fat, black, gay, something person. Yet. We're getting there every day, though. But what would I say? So it was like, what was them? The most popular was fat, black, gay, disabled, girl boss, or something like that. Girl boss is one of them, too. Asshole. You know what I'm saying? They're always mad because they don't like when, because they're the type of feminists to get mad once they're told to smile more. You know what I'm saying? Which isn't something they've ever been told. They're just projecting from a movie they saw. You know what I'm saying? So always mad or asshole. And then it's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what? And it's like, so much so to the point where they're changing girls in games. So much so to the point where April O'Neil in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, black. Why? Because she's redhead? Little Mermaid, black. Why? Because she's redhead? There was somebody else. There was a guy who was race swapped. Why? Because he's black. Why? Because he's a redhead? Why do they think that redheads are outdated? And I'm hearing people say, oh yeah, outdated model. There's this one guy who calls, Stellar Blade Eve outdated and problematic. Outdated and problematic. From a bygone era. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't get to decide that, and no, it's not, because she's just an Asian girl. Well, really, she's a robot. For the nerds out there who's like, well, actually, she's a robot. Yeah, you're right. So me and you are on the same page. So it's like, but they don't want to celebrate Stellar Blade because what? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a Gooner game. But what I'm lost on is, and this is the trick. They're like, yeah, Gooner game. That's bad. That's just by default bad. Why though? Wouldn't that be useful? Think about it. Jiggle physics. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't, and which gay people say, I got gay friends. I probably get gay commenters who's like, yeah, imagine a man with jiggle physics. See what I'm saying? You know, PC Stellar Blade is on PC now, and people are like, yeah, we're about to be hyped because all your favorite girls can be modded into Stellar Blade with the shift up. The same company who makes Nikke, Goddess of Victory, and they're just raking in the money over there in the East. I'll get into that right after this, where it's just basically they're giving power to the player. You know what I'm saying? That used to be the motto back in the day. I'm a young guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not around for all these guys who are like, oh, I'm 90s baby, 70s baby, you know what I'm saying, 80s baby, who are like, oh, I was there for it all. Halo 1 through 3 launch, baby. I was there before it got bad. I wasn't down for that. I'm sorry. You know, it's time difference and stuff. But I was there for certain stuff like Shadow of the Colossus. I was there, you know. I was there. I had like a free copy of Shadow of the Colossus on the PS4. I was there when people were talking about PT. You know what I'm saying? PT was the only horror game that genuinely scared me. Like as a kid, I was like, oh my god, like, I couldn't watch people. You know, and as over the years, I've become like a horror fanatic. Like, oh, this ain't scary because there's nothing thought provoking. And PT would really just make me pissed bad. I mean, I couldn't take it. Like, if I was watching on my phone as a little kid, more probably, because TV, YouTube, probably was a thing. I would like go in the comments and talk about, oh my god, this is so scary. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh, let me read funny comments. You know? But as I got older, I'm like, whoa, this game was crazy. And, you know, Corpo Greed ruined PT or Silent Hills for Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus, because they could have had a great Silent Hill franchise off that and by Konami and ruined their whole plans. And that's how Death Stranding even came about. Death Stranding, I mean, it's obvious. Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus, come on, you know, come on, you know what it's for. I know what it's for. They were gonna do Silent Hills together. I wonder if they ever talked about it. Matter of fact, I'm such a gamer, let me spit some gaming knowledge for you. Silent Hills / PT went on to become Resident Evil 7, by the way. You'll notice that in some of the assets, some of the art direction, yeah, that went on to become Resident Evil 7. That's a little knowledge for you, you know what I'm saying? Just to prove that I'm no tourist. Now that word I will snatch, and if I ever do mention who this mysterious man is who's providing all this information, which will be on screen, so you won't be totally in the dark. Yeah, tourist, because there are people who are like, this is the best looking hair I've seen in 5 years. Where were you at in the last 5 years? Where were you at when Stellar Blade was called Project Eve? You know, like what? Where were you at? See what I'm saying? That gamer knowledge. I'm trying to tell you. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm trying to tell you. Right? So, we're just now hitting 30 minutes. I loop into Silent Hills from the girls being made ugly thing to say that in the Silent Hill 2 remaster, people are somehow shocked when we say they made the girl less sexy. And they're like, oh, this is a sad day for everyone because what do you mean they made the abuse victim less sexy? Well, I hate to be mean. I really do hate to be mean. You know, I hate to be mean, but I'm gonna have to say this. If you want somebody to care, you gotta give them something to care about. If you are ugly, annoying, kind of weird, they're not gonna care about your problems. And if you're kind of an asshole, which he kind of is, they kind of rub off some of that in the acting, what's the name? I mean, it's all the old Silent Hill 2 lines, just with different cadences and, you know, pronunciation and, of course, you know, acting and moods and tones. It's, she gives us a kind of, like, upset tone, like, asshole tone. Like, it's like, you can't do that and be ugly because people are going to think, be slogging through this game like, this ugly bitch is giving me such a hard time. And then that's what's gonna get them mad. That's what's gonna get them talking like, oh, I wish she was raped again. Which is messed up, of course. But you piss off people, they're gonna bite back. You know, they're gonna fight back. They're gonna get upset. And when they get upset, you can't be like, well, why are you doing this? Because you made me mad. So yeah. So they do that. You know, their heads were bigger. They made Maria. Yeah, because James Sunderland's wife's name is Mary. I'm doing all this off memory. All of this off memory. I hope y'all are impressed. Doing all this off memory. Yeah, so James' wife is named Mary. Maria was the figment of imagination. We're like, why is Maria's cleavage covered up? Why is her head so big? Like, why is she kind of changed? And they're like, Gooner. And it's like, but she's supposed to be hot. Like, she isn't even really like a person. She's supposed to be like a figment, like a prostitute of James Sunderland's imagination. You know, like she was actually supposed to be it. The other girl is like, the argument I made earlier is for her. But for Maria, it's like, but she has to be sexy because she is literally just an objectification. It's showing his like misogyny. But if she's not objectified, then there's no reason for her to exist. And so it's like, well, why is she here? And it's like, well, you know, and she's his misogyny. How? Because she's wearing a leather jacket? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. So she kind of has to be in order to be objectified, you know, because it's like, it's my whole thing. I tell my friends who are trans, like, no, I say trans woman because transitioned woman, like the words, you know, the words. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, not like because, like, oh, some person, not me at least, and any other person who is radical will tell you that too, and then listen to me and be like, yeah, more so that. And also, I hate trans people or something like that, you know? But that's a minority of people. You know what I'm saying? Minority of people are racist nowadays. And if they're racist like everyday people, you know, we've all said a little something. We've all did an Asian accent. Asian people think it's funny. Because we'll either do it good or do it bad. And be like, what? Where did they get this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Same thing with like old jokes and black and white people. They'll do like, yo, what's up, man? Like, that's what you think black people sound like? Where did they get that from? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, from Silent Hill 2 remake, where do we go? Spider-Man 2, right? All has a connection. I'm very clever in my ways of doing this. It's like I'm talking to myself, but this time I'm recording, like I said I should do. But, you know, something, I guess God just hit me in the right moment. And I was just like, I'm gonna do it. Spider-Man 2 remake. I don't like the game. I think the game is really bad, and I feel my heart breaks a million pieces a million times for Yuri Lowenthal because he's pouring his heart out, just like the Rachel Zegler girl. My heart breaks and shatters into a million pieces, not for her, but for Gal Gadot and her co-workers and everybody who needed to make that movie come to life and do well so they can keep their jobs. I feel my heart aches for them and bleeds for them because that's not fair. Yuri Lowenthal should have been nominated, but he didn't get nominated for certain reasons that were kept under wraps. And I'll tell you what those reasons were now. Miles Morales, and I'll save the Miles Morales talk fully for something later. Miles Morales essentially just became mystical black man. He wasn't even like the movies. He wasn't kind of even like his old past self. He was just like, I am magic, nigga, bow before my feet. But I'm also nice, so we should be nice together. So there was this writing thing. So I'm hearing people talk about like, oh, Spider-Man 2's writing is ass because they're all so nice to each other. The word we use for that in the critic world is sanitized. It's very sanitized. Very, sanitized. Very, you know, sterilized and very just like, oh my God, this is cringe. Why are you all so nice to each other? This is not how real people work. So on top of the sanitized, you know, dumbed down writing, we have these Life is Strange segments with Harry and Peter, which is like, you guys are in your mid-20s. Why are you riding bikes? Well, I don't care how childhood friendly. I mean, you can ride bikes as 20-year-old people, but you're riding bikes like you're little kids. I don't want to sound stupid. You know what I'm saying? I know people share that same sentiment. There's discourse about that too. Like, this isn't Life is Strange. You guys aren't little girls. You guys aren't even that young. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be like 25-year-old Harry and Peter, or Harry's older than Peter, or Peter's older than Harry. One of those two. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like Jesus Christ, this channel made mature enough to let them go grab a coffee. You know, what is this? They're at the Coney Island amusement mall. Like, if this was 2008 Spectacular Spider-Man, that fits, because it's like taking Mary MJ on a date for the first time. Like, oh, but it's not that. These are grown adults who are all friends, who are all very grown, minus kind of like Miles, but he's like a college student, question mark? Or is he a high school student? Either way, very grown. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they would be hanging out like at a coffee shop, or hanging out, you know, anywhere else. They wouldn't be at the Coney Island. And if they would, it would be like, you lead up into that. So on top of the sterilized writing, on top of these weird phoned in segments, we have these highly political, controversial statements. I'll say that. Because it's not one thing, it's not two things. It's a bunch of laundry list things for one category. So sterilized writing, you know, phoned in segments, and then controversial segment. So the controversial segment is the deaf black, I guess, love interest of Miles. Where did that come from? I know the love interest of the last game, who also, spoiler alert, well, let's say the love interest isn't available, but if you haven't played Miles Morales, go play Miles Morales, or look up the story, watch YouTube. I know I've been a viewer for years. I know how we get down. This is the spoiler warning for Miles Morales. Skip ahead, or, you know, I'll say when you're good or something. I don't know. Point is, we know what happened in the last game. It's not the same girl. And it can be this deaf black girl, but it's kind of phoned in. So it's phoned in, it's leaning into the phoned in part, but then it's in this controversial stage where she's spray painting poetry. She's graffitiing, not even really spray painting, because it's not like a city thing. And the city's like, yeah, because that would kind of lighten the blow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If like the city was like taking pictures, not really. They're graffitiing onto building poetry about racism and Black Lives Matter, and it's like, this is a Spider-Man game, and you have to play as her, and they cut the audio out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is Spider-Man, guys. You know what I'm saying? And this is I have a whole thing for this too, so there's no confusion. This is Spider-Man, guys. Someone's like, well, Spider-Man always, everything is political. All art is political. First off, what art? How is Halo political besides, and I don't think evil is bad is political. That's common sense. What are we talking about? No, it's not. What art? What Avengers movie is political? What Civil War, that people will disagree on laws, is political? Duh. That's how the law system works. That's how the voting system in America works. Duh. That's common sense. That's how any system works ever. It's not even specific to America. Duh. There's a picture of Spider-Man like, respect minorities, and it's a little kid, and he's like, Spider-Man, and then he's like 2026 or 2024 or 2025, respect minorities. It's woke. And it's like, no, because Spider-Man wouldn't turn to the camera and say, respect minorities, and then just go about his business? No. And if he did, it would somehow, because all things of the past now are becoming like Shakespeare to the modern age. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Spider-Man and his amazing friends, we were too hard on you. So it's like, you know, respect minorities. And it's like, people made this point. No, he wouldn't say respect minorities. He'd say, and remember, kids, I'm black. And he'd take off his mask, and he'd have vitiligo, and he'd kiss his boyfriend. Him and Miles will make out, and then it'll pan out, and he's missing an arm, and he's fat, and he has like a handicap park sticker tattoo. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Spider-Man, what movie is this? What game? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he would do in this age, because people aren't even clever enough to just say, remember kids, everyone deserves love and respect. And that's the power you hold, and with great power comes great responsibility. Swings off. None of that. No. They'll just have Miles Morales, performing a church sermon in the back. He's resurrecting Harry Osborn and shit. Like, what? what is happening? And it's just like, you know, like what? It would never be that. It's always so clunkily done. And that's what I said. It was 3 things that got the game. It was really 4. Not enough change. People are like, oh, the swinging is great. I played some of it. I play a lot of games because I got like family. And so I'd be like, hey, yo, you want to play some of this? I'm like, sure, let me try it out. I want to see if it's trash or not. They're like, I think it's pretty. No, it's trash. I don't like it. You know, because a lot of my family be like, it's just ass. But I just got it and we could play it together. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's get down. I play it and I'm like, it's cool in a wingsuit, but it's not different enough to make me like get a hard on or anything. Like, let's calm down, Spider-Man community. Let's not. This is not nothing to like drop your jaws and twerk about, guys. This is not that wild. You know what I'm saying? Ultimate Spider-Man is right there with a couple of mods. You know what I'm saying? Let's chill out. Come on now. Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3 could get there with the right graphics mods. Let's relax, okay? This isn't nothing to twerk about at all. It's cool and wingsuit and blah blah blah, but it's nothing to go crazy over. Because like I said, phoned in story stuff. Spider-Man Spider-Sense isn't, for some reason, he's not. It wasn't that it wasn't working. His Spider-Sense would go off and then stand there for a couple more minutes and get hit. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, why? And then it's like, oh, I see why. So Miles can save him. Like, there's a scene where he's like, he's in a symbiote chasing out Kraven. They shoot a net at him or a missile at him. His Spider-Sense goes off. He looks at it. He dives headfirst into the missile or something. And it's like, can you at least make him try and move? You know what I'm saying? Because it's different. It's like, I'm getting old. I'm getting slow. It's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? He's too slow to do it. Miles is younger, so he's a little more agile. I would be able to at least live with it. But it was to the point where it was unwatchable, unplayable. Because it's like, he would stand there and get caught. He would stand there and get hit. You know? For some reason, even in the symbiote, he's getting overpowered by Kraven. All for Kraven to get one tap to bit his head off by Venom. It's like, why? You know what I'm saying? What was the point? Of course, to belittle Spider-Man, or belittle Peter Parker because white, and uplift Miles Morales because black. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And nobody can argue. And if you can, write something out and I'll put it in the comments. And we can have a convo. Give me your Discord. I'll put my Discords and socials up and we can really go at this for a moment. Because I can guarantee you, that's just not true. Because there was no real reason. I'm gonna spoil this. At the end of the game, and it doesn't change unless you press it. It will not let you, like, you cannot fail it, or unless an update rolled around. But I have footage of this. Unless an update rolls around, Miles has to like use his bioelectricity to start Harry's heartbeat again. But you can't fail it, and if you don't press it all the way and do it all the way, it doesn't do. And it's like, guys, you're literally just doing this because, what? He's black, he has the electric, and just for the setup of, you know, Miles, I'm taking a vacation with Mary Jane. Let's take over for a little bit. You know, I don't know if you can say it. He's like, I got this, Pete. We start busting it down, and it can start flipping. He put on that one trash outfit. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, they had his dread showing. It was bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just phoned in segments on top of controversial stuff. Mary Jane segments. Let me not forget about that. That was the controversial other half. Was the phoned in not the phoned in segments. The controversial Mary Jane segments where in the first game we're like, we don't like this because it's taking you out of action and it's not, it doesn't serve of any relevance because she'll end up getting caught or something anyway, and Spider-Man will have to bust it and save her anyway. And you know what I'm saying? If somebody doesn't like the next section, basically they're forced into this section. You know, it doesn't make sense anyway. It shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Or find a better way to do it. Not only did they not find a better way to do it, they brought it back again. And there's clips. I have a clip of of Brian Intihar. I think he's the director at I don't think Santa Monica. I think in Insomniac. And he's saying it. And he's saying like, yeah, we know. We don't care.
Give people stuff you know they want, so you can inject things that maybe they aren't familiar with, or maybe they don't know they want, but make them like that stuff.
Basically, more or less. I have proof of this stuff. You know, they brought it back anyways, even though because we didn't like it. You know, and then like if she's OP, who cares? You know, it's whatever. I don't care if she's OP. It's whatever. And it's like, dude, no, you're supposed to be on our side. You're not supposed to. And that's why they didn't make it and get the Game Awards, because no, you can't just do that. You're not going to get away with that. And I feel like people were saying they didn't do enough radical, controversial, you know, forced political shit to get them in there, and secured. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was why Spider-Man 2 was woke in anti-diverse. Not because they were gay or black or any of that. It's because it was already mediocre at best, and it was basically living off of just hype. But it was also basically just living off hype, and then it was forcing garbage down our throats that we didn't care about. Like, you know, some gamers were skipping the black man, old man segments with the voice actor to do Lee from The Walking Dead. Some actors were skipping that. And it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I would have probably stayed. I did stay. I think when I played it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. It's a cool little mission. But outside of that, I didn't. No, you know, like I don't blame them, because it's like, this is fine and fun and all, but this isn't like a cutesy thing. I want cool stuff. I want to be cool because I'm Spider-Man. I want to be having cool fun, you know. And then they did this weird thing where Yuri Lowenthal is Spider-Man. It's always somewhat annoying no matter what, which is dumb. Or always a little cringe and corny no matter what, which is stupid, because he's not that. He's actually so cool that he has to put on this demeanor, because, you know, he has to transform into a whole different person for his Spider-Man work, you know? It's how an identity works, you know, the tired old voice trope. Oh, Lois, it's me, Superman, that thing, but just a little different. But he was always kind of annoying and corny and cringe, even as Peter. It was like, well, shit, how aren't they guessing you're Spider-Man? You're talking the exact same. You haven't even really transformed. But whatever. So that was that, Spider-Man 2. Is there even any more? We're creeping up on that hour mark. Is there anything else I have to mention? Oh, I'll just loop back around to they're making girls ugly in games with in the Spider-Man 2 segment, was saying that Mary Jane was made ugly. Did I mention that in this or no? So yeah, I'll start here. Mary Jane was made ugly. That actress, which I thought for the longest time was the same actress from the first game, from the prequeling game. No, it wasn't. It's a whole new girl, and she's pretty. Same girl in the first one was pretty. Same whole cap actors, like everyone was really attractive, you know? But for some reason, in this next game, they made her ugly. Why? Yeah, for some reason, they made her ugly. Why? Even though this actress is very pretty. And I feel like that's sexist and objectifying and offensive, because you are playing God with someone else's image. That's basically saying your body, my choice, because she's not flat. She's quite curvaceous. She's not ugly. She's quite pretty. She's quite beautiful, actually. She's gorgeous. Why are you even allowed to? Well, because one, if they say anything, you're fired. You know what I'm saying? Because don't tell me no. I am the DEI king. Who do you think you are telling me no? I'm on the right side of history. I'm the one who wins. You know? So that's that. But then it was other games. That Fable game. So the old Fable game, and then it's like remake. I'll have the pictures of her up on screen. Like she's missing a tooth and all that. That girl is like she's like the cute TikTok girl. I've seen this real pictures of her, and she's quite pretty. She's quite pretty. And for some reason, they're making her ugly. You know, I'm glad that these actresses aren't Rachel Zeglering right now and just keeping their heads out and keeping their heads down and just working and just doing their jobs, because I feel bad for them because they probably can't say anything. And the ones who are obligated to say something because their students like, we're looking bad, go glaze us. Go glaze us so they think you're not being held hostage. You know, I feel my heart's bleed for them no matter what, because except for like if they're doing it of their own making. Like Rachel Zegler, she deserved it. You know what I'm saying? She ran her mouth. She suffered the consequences of people like not liking her and not showing up for her work. And that's what I'm saying. That's what we should do. So where is this coming from where people sound like, oh, it's cool? Cool how? Because we don't want to support something we don't like? You said to do that. There's headlines of people saying like, white guys, this movie isn't for you. Then there's clips and, journalists in quotation marks, same articles, next article saying, why is no one watching this movie? Why are white men not watching this movie? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? Guys, this movie's for the girls. Why are no men watching this movie? Because you said don't. We listened. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing that they don't like when we turn them, when we didn't, forget turn a mirror, when we're like, oh, you said don't. You said don't watch it. What? You're racist. Like, you told me not to watch it. You know, it's like, what? Like that echo chamber thing, that clown, that guy pointing at the mirror thing. Is like, yeah, you told us not to do this. You said like, oh, crusty gamers, you know what I'm saying? You did this. And it's like, well, you told us to not watch it. If it's, what do they say all the time? If it's, don't like it, don't buy it. If it's not for you, don't watch it. Don't do this. Don't do. It's like, okay, I didn't. And they're like, why didn't you watch it? You're racist. It's like, you told me not to. And they're like, does not compute. Like Nostalgia Critic. And it's like, you told us to do this. Point I was making was that they're making girls ugly. They're doing all this, and then these girls are quite pretty, quite curvaceous, all that good stuff. And then you're in trouble for what? Noticing it, for saying it, for being upset about the changes. You know, like what am I a bad guy for doing? Like, what did I do? Because I said because I said it, because I like denounced it outright and said like, I don't like the fact that you made her ugly. You must be some sort of racist bigot. And it's like, no, I just don't really like this. That equals bigotry, because I am like a saint. And if you don't like my stuff, you're like a devil worshiper. It's like, what? Why? I just don't like this. And I'm not going to support it. I'm going to protest it because I don't like this. When they do it, it's fine. When we do it, oh, gamers are Nazis. Gamers are racist. Oh, kill them all. Shut it down. Shut it down. And it's like, but, you know what I'm saying? And so, they'll do this and then say, oh yeah, you're cruel. Like, I'm going to at him in this video. I swear to God, I'm going to at him in these comments. That YouTuber, because I like this guy and I want to have a dialogue with him. I don't want to convince him of anything. I just want him to at least know, no, it's not everyone. You know what I'm saying? And of course it's not everyone, but no one's being cruel. That's what I was saying earlier, where people are being policed so much to the point where it's like them being a guy and saying retarded is like, oh, capital F bad, capital X bad. Like, no, can't say that. No. It's like, that's just gamer talk. What? Like, black gamer saying nigga, white gamer saying nigga, retard, a couple faggots get thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are calling people cocksucker. Like, a couple words, this is just gamer talk. This isn't like new. It didn't happen this year. It's been happening forever. You know what I'm saying? And people are accustomed to it. And people even like it. And people get kind of like, they feel, people are fraudulent when it's not said. And then unless it's like, okay, if you're like a Corey Kenshin and you just don't curse, don't say anything kind of outlandish off the wall, it's like, okay, well, yeah. But if not, and not everybody, then what's the problem? It's just because that we like it. And they don't like that we're not calling, praising it. Ah, yes, Dr. Professor, xenophobic, Latin, and then they're, trying to change the language. That was one thing with the Insomniac 2 thing, or the Spider-Man 2 Insomniac Games thing, where it's this thing where they're like creating their own language for the Hispanic people, like Latin or Latinx or Latinx, and that's like a slur. Apparently, that's like a slur. You're not supposed to call someone Latinx ever, no matter what they are. If they're Guatemalan, if they're Puerto Rican, you're never supposed to call someone Latinx. And they kept saying that, like, I'm a lead divisionist of a Latinx group. And like, no, don't say Latinx. And a girl would be making up words like they're saying like El Doctoro, and they don't say no El Doctoro, they just say doctor or something. You know, it's like they just say doctor, and then it's like El Doctor Cinto. And it's like, what? Like, what? And there's this famous guy turning that game option, that like radio call option in the game off, because it's like they're bastardizing his language.
Reacción de Rubius al lenguaje inclusivo en Spider-Man 2.
¿Quiénes son? ¿Qué hacen? A ver, por una parte, el dinero sale de esto. Lo que no acaba de molar, lo sé, pero el hombre al mando, Harry Osborn, tiene buena reputación. Y encima ha contratado a mi científica de abejas favorite, la apidóloga M. Young. Es la mayor experta en el desorden de colapso de colonias, sí. Toca el ukelele que te mueres, como saben quienes le siguen en redes sociales. Así que, joven Osborn, tu fundación tiene mucho que hacer para reparar el legado de tu padre. Pero por ahora vas bien. No olvidéis pagar.
And he's thinking, and his problem, in his first moments, he's probably thinking like, oh, they just stupid white people, they don't know. And he cuts it off. But they did it on purpose, and they doubled down afterwards. I'm gonna have proof of this. I'm gonna have evidence of this. I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm not being on screen right now. Like, there's going to be evidence. I'm not being malicious. These aren't even subjective, personal feelings. These are things I observed with my eyes. I'm just finally talking about it. Another thing, let me see. Yeah, so all of it. Girls being ugly in games, just all of it. It's just a big thing. And it's, no one wants political media ever. No one wants political video games. Who would want to play that? Unless you're really, like, political gaming is for like postal or hatred. Or what was another one like that? Like a disturbing Doom mod. You know what I'm saying? It's not made for something like just normal Doom. There should be nothing political or forced in Doom the Dark Ages, which I am hyped for, because that studio minds their own. They don't just have a... Imagine if Doom the Dark Ages starts and, I don't know, Doom guy is beating up Donald Trump. You know, it's like, why is this so political? It's like, what? This is just normal Doom. This shouldn't have anything to do with anything. Like, this should just be its own removed thing. And that's what I'm trying to do. So, and then that argument, everything's political. All art is political. No, it's not. That is a lie. Straight up, that is a lie. Objectively, it's not an opinion. That's a fact. No, you're saying every art piece ever is political. Are you saying Scott Pilgrim is political? How? What politic? Which politic? You know what I'm saying? Are you saying the most dangerous game, the book, the 1940s book, is political? Okay, which politic? What policy? It's not political. Because political is a self-contained thing. Politics is, self-contained in presidencies and senators. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an expert on it, but it's its own self-contained entity in mass. When was Spider-Man political? You know what I'm saying? If you have Black Lives Matter, why isn't any appearances? And it's one-sided. It's political and then it's one-sided. Because if there's Black Lives Matter, why not White Lives Matter or All Lives Matter or something? Not even to be like, justice for everybody. Just to say, well, there were people saying these two things. These were the two popular things. Nothing of this. Why is there no George Floyd? Why is there no this? Why is there nothing like that? Why is there nothing like this? Because it's selective. And then it's like, it's basically unjust. Because if it's just bad mouthing one side or uplifting, it's like, okay, well, why not this thing? You know what I'm saying? That it's the two popular things. You know, they try to boycott Hogwarts Legacy because if you buy Hogwarts Legacy, you're transphobic because J.K. Rowling is transphobic. And she's not even transphobic. J.K. Rowling is, like I said, and I'm going to get into it all. But for right now, I'm going to try and keep it gaming related. J.K. Rowling's like, leave those kids alone. And they're like, did you just tell us stop didding these kids? What? You must be transphobic. It's like, what? No. Stop touching kids. But then these same people will turn around and drop essays on people. This is why you should stay away from, I'm going to just throw a random name out here, Mrs. Yonsei Sarner. She was touching little babies. And it was like, but when we told trans people that's transphobic, it's like, no, it's not. And they're saying J.K. Rowling is a TERF. It's like, what? And then they're like, oh, no one's gonna buy Hogwarts Legacy, and if you do, you're like a transphobe. And it was the best-selling game of that year. And guess what? Jeff Keighley, the host of the game show, calling this guy out. Jeff Keighley is a weirdo. Not in the sense of he's like a child toucher, but he enforces this garbage. And then he goes in every game of the year and it's like, what's game of the year? Balatro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Why? Because everyone's playing it. Remember the card game on the PS5? No, what? Yeah. Like 2024 game of the year was what? Astrobot. Which was safe, but it was like, not really. You just didn't include anything else, but like other DLCs were winning. So like Night Rain's DLC for Elden Ring won or something like that. Or what was the new DLC, the currently released DLC for Elden Ring is out. And it won 2024 something game of the year. Like best art design. And it's like, well, you're excluding like this game. You know what I'm saying? And you're excluding this game, this game, and this game. Can't be this. You know what I'm saying? And then get Jeff Keighley of the Game Awards, he always advertises like extraction shooter slop. It's everything he has in his award show is slop. Except for like a couple things like that like anime version of God of War Razor thing. That looked kind of interesting. But outside of that, but we know it's not going to get any wild, because the point I'm making with all of this, if I could sum it up into one thing, we want games to be radical again. And it seems we're going to have to take them into our hands. I'm going to throw my hat in too, because I'm tired of watching all these Easterners make all the money. Shift Up, Stellar Blade, Nikke. Did they work on Infinite Nikki? The companies who worked on Infinite Nikki. The MiHoYo, who worked on Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, something else, Honkai Third Impact, and Genshin Impact. They're raking in millions. These Asian people are raking in millions. The studio of Shift Up, I think Hong Kim, Shin Jae-eun is Eve, is the actress for Eve. Hong Kong Jim is the lead, like, CEO of Shift Up. He bought their whole studio PS5s. Including himself and his wife. And an advance. And a bonus. Not an advance, and a bonus. It's like, and then we turn over here, and then what? Rocksteady's closing, or they're just barely managing to survive after Suicide Squad, and they're trying to make another Arkham Knights remaster, or make a Arkham Knights remaster. It's like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying, I'm tired of all these Easterners making all the money. I'm gonna throw my hat in there soon. You know, even GTA is getting, and I'll touch on GTA too. I don't believe GTA is going to flop. That would be crazy talk. I do believe GTA is going to be toned down. and do this and reel it back, which is dumb because it's the criminal game. It's the commercialized criminal game, which is stupid. And I know, well, you gotta make money, but they've already made all the money. Rockstar, you should just go wild. But they think it's the thing where they need the points everyone else needs, the DEI points, the ESG score, or whatever it's called. They don't. Or at least they need it to stay safe. Because people, oh my god, is this they took the trans people you could mess with in GTA out. I'll never forget GTA for online, because I never really, when I was younger, I didn't like the story for GTA 5. I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. Like, I'll play any other GTA. Like, I'll play San Andreas front to back and then back and forth. And then I'll switch between GTA 4 and play GTA 4 like front to halfway, get a little bored of it, and then go back to San Andreas. But for some reason, I just didn't like the story of 5. I don't know why. And I didn't like the story of 5, and then I only played it online mode. And that's when, back in the day, PS4, it was like everyone was playing online to the point where they had this like private server thing, and you could just play online by yourself. Like, there's this popular trope where you just drive around by yourself online and just drive around in cars at night and just jam out to the radio. A lot of people get put on to music through that GTA radio. That's how impactful they are to the community, to the gaming space as a whole, right? And so I remember I tried to steal a Lamborghini, but this car is too fancy to steal this car. I can't steal this car. And I'm like, what? Why? And then a message pops up after the message that says, this car is too hot, the engine's too, something like that, like, this car is too hot to be stolen. I'm thinking I had to lose the police. I lost the police, doubled back twice, came back. I'm like, and I look up and I see the messages like, this car is too hot to be stolen. I'm like, why? Then it pops up another message, to get this car, please purchase it off our store. I'm like, oh, well, let me see how much. And the car was like $5 million. And it's like, I'm at $4 million, but I don't want to give you $5 million for this car I just stole off the street, because I know it won't be hard to obtain. I mean, I know it might be a little hard because you gotta buy it technically, but not really. That it is dumb, because this is a criminal game. This is a criminal game. I should be able to do whatever. In GTA 5, you can run people over with cars. This was controversial. You know what I'm saying? Like, these games deserve the controversy, but even then it's stupid. Like, people are like, oh, you're sick in the head if you just run NPCs over with your car. It's like, it's a video game. These people yell the F word. They yell, like, obscenities when getting hit by a car. Like, they get hit by a car and, like, salute to Hitler as they get hit over. You know what I'm saying? They say Jack Heim on their way down. Like, no, this is not up for discussion. But it would be, yeah, this is a criminal game. Like, you can purchase a prostitute / hooker, get paid them, don't do anything with them, wait for them to get out the car, and serial kill them, and get the money back that you just spent on them, and burn their bodies. People, and it's like the same game, and they're like, oh, you running over NPCs? No. And and since that, I'm also upset, and like I said, I'm going to throw my hat in eventually with my own game, because, like I said, Rockstar Games make, I haven't said this, but Rockstar Games make a lot of games. They've made a lot of games too. They've made every GTA. They've made something else too. They made the Red Dead Redemptions. They also made another franchise when they were a lot younger in their infancy, Manhunt. One of their more rated M for mature games, right? One of my favorite games of all time. I never really got a chance to play one. I might not ever. No, I will. Due to like emulation and stuff and piracy and stuff, I will be able to play it because it's the only way you can. And number 2, actually, they're both delisted. Manhunt 2, I had it on the Wii. Found that in a bargain bill. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I was down and old enough to be a kid to go into the bargain bin to get a game out the bargain bin, or whatever it was called, where the games were cheap. and they were kind of like pre-owned or something like that. Like games were cheap. You could just reach in there like, ooh, I'm like, what's this game? This game looks like cool. I thought it was Resident Evil. It was like, because one of the Resident Evils had a similar cover. I actually picked up Manhunt 2, life-changing experience. I played that game with my dad. That game is so sick. I think my disc got scratched and I had to throw it away. But yeah, I played that game with my dad. That game is so sick. Especially on the Wii. Oh my goodness, having to like jerk a knife into someone's throat, having to manually slice someone's throat. Oh my goodness, so cool. And they delisted both Manhunts, and you can never play anything like that ever again. The closest you can get right now, there is a game on Roblox called Traversal, and it's a copy, and I refuse to play it because it's not the same. It's not the same. It could be just as graphic. They can have organs showing. They could just be barely dodging terms of service. I don't care. It's not the same. It's not the same. I want that game that I can play with my dad and jerk a knife in and out of somebody's chest and repeatedly bash someone's skull in with a head. But that's too much for these tourists. And that's not fair, because it's like, okay, if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. If I'm driving too fast, get a refund and get out of my car. But that's mean to say. Why is that mean to say? I want to play Manhunt. Why is that bad? Why is that a bad thing? Same thing with Postal. You want to know something so funny? Postal is the least controversial thing going on right now. I'm following Running with Scissors on TikTok. I mean, not a blink, not a wink, not a shut, nothing. They don't get any crap, and I don't want them to. Don't harass anyone. Don't harass anyone. Do not harass anyone I have mentioned in this video. I'll place that at the beginning too. Do not harass anyone I have mentioned or brought up in this video. I'll have that at the end too. Because no, don't harass anyone. I'm not saying I want them to be in any trouble. But you think, oh, the people who made Postal, of course they're gonna get backlash. They used to, but it seems like, oh no, they're just accepted. And that worries me, because why? Why are you cool with them now? Did you do something? That scares me nowadays. I'm like, uh-oh, what did you do? But yeah, this is this video. I'm gonna get to work editing this right now. Is there anything else? No, not really. This is the video. And bye-bye. Bye-bye.